privacy in a public place, dude. So,
I'll just remind you that I haven't given you.
yeah, sorry, if you let me. Sorry, if you let me finish. Sorry, if you let me. Sorry, if you let me finish. Sir, excuse me. Sorry, Michael. You may not be as a police officer, right? But
welcome to Police Prep, your trusted guide to joining the UK Police. Get expert tips for exams, interviews, fitness, and recruitment. Prepare today, protect tomorrow. This video comes from Audit Ed. Make sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. In this video, Audit Ed is calmly filming outside Wiltshire Police Headquarters when a sergeant comes out looking for a confrontation over something that is completely legal. She tries everything she can think of to force him off the pavement, but instead of showing good leadership, she ends up being taught the law right outside her own police station. Ed stands his ground, calmly breaks apart every weak argument she makes, and leaves her with nothing to say. It is an embarrassing situation for the police. It ends with the sergeant and her colleagues walking away in defeat the moment they realize they cannot intimidate someone who actually knows their rights.
Okay, well this is restricted area. So
restricted how, sorry?
That bit over there is fine.
Which bit over there, sorry?
Because you see where the barrier is?
Yeah,
so you shouldn't really be walking in this area?
But I thought I was allowed to. I mean, I didn't cross any barriers or gates or anything, I just walked in.
Barrier
yeah, but for cars though, there isn't one for the pedestrian access, is there?
If you don't mind,
sorry.
I'm just asking you to move out of the way because you haven't got a pass and I don't know who you are.
I know, I understand that, but I'm just also letting...
It's not public.
It is, it's a police station.
No, this isn't public.
This is the police station.
Yeah, I know it's a police station.
So it is public.
It's not a public police station, it's the headquarters, so it's not somewhere for the public to
No, I think you misunderstand me. What I mean to say is, this place is funded by taxpayers' money.
Yep.
I'm a taxpayer, which effectively, if we're going to split hairs, and I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but effectively this is my grounds. I mean, you couldn't trespass me from here because I'm on public land.
Well, this is private, so I'm asking you to leave the area.
Sorry, but this is not a private place, this is a police station, this is the police headquarters.
The sergeant started the encounter with a straight-up lie. She claimed the area was restricted, even though Ed had not crossed any barriers or gates to get there. Under Section 128 of the Serious Organized Crime and Police Act 2005, a location can only be legally restricted if it has been officially approved by the Secretary of State and has clear visible signs saying so. This sergeant had none of that. She was simply making up restricted zones on the spot. Her next excuse was that the headquarters is closed to the public, which is just as weak. A police station is a public building paid for entirely by taxpayers. Simply changing the sign on the building from police station to headquarters does not take away a citizen's right to stand on open ground outside it.
And I believe under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972, I have the express right to be here under my implied rights of access. I've just come in to make a little video for my YouTube channel. I have a lot of people who are interested. Sorry, if you let me. Sorry, if you let me finish. Sorry, if you let me. Sorry, if you let me finish.
That's private and confidential.
Okay, that's fine. But I was just saying to you, before you interrupted me, that I was going to make my way through there, film the marked police vehicles as I was, and then I'll be on my way.
Okay, well, over there then.
Yeah, please don't give. Listen, please look. I hate.
Not here.
Excuse me, but you're not directing traffic right now. Can you please stop pointing and waving your hand? I'm not a dog. I'm a human being.
I know, and I'm asking you politely.
I haven't been rude to you. I haven't been rude to you, miss.
I'm asking you politely.
I know, and now you're raising my voice. I haven't been rude. I've just said to you that I'm going to go through that way, and you're trying to. No, because I don't have to. I haven't broken the law, so stop giving me directives. I'll do as I please. Don't give me directives. I have not. Why are you walking right behind me? You're causing me harassment, alarm, and distress right now. I am doing what this. No, I won't. I'm going to walk at my own pace. I told her. No, I haven't broken the law. Why? I have not broken the law. So why would I follow her instructions? You're out of your jurisdiction, Sergeant, with all due respect.
The sergeant quickly dismissed Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972. Which protects the rights of ordinary people and the press to gather information on matters that affect the public. By brushing this aside so easily, she showed she simply does not know the law well enough. Instead of dealing with the legal facts, she tried a sneaky emotional tactic. She brought up a high-risk missing person case as a reason to clear the area, which has absolutely nothing to do with a man standing on open ground holding a camera. It has no legal relevance whatsoever. Even when Ed voluntarily offered to move to a different spot, the sergeant started ordering him to move to a specific location. She seemed completely unaware that since Ed was not breaking any laws, her orders carried no legal weight at all. This sergeant was simply desperate to win a power struggle that she had already lost.
Sorry, yeah, why are you following me, please?
Just making sure you can leave.
Alright, and also, no, but I'm not on private property. A couple of other things as well. Your body camera is recording, and in your policy, it says that you will tell the member of the public when you activate your body camera. Furthermore, you will take your hands out of your pockets and stop with your slovenly behaviour, Constable. Okay? Get your hands out of your pockets, sir.
My camera is recording.
Yes, it is. You should have told me that you were recording before you approached me. So everything I have said before this point will be treated without prejudice. Do you understand?
There's no prejudice
Thank
at
you.
all.
So, I am being followed by these police officers.
You can't go in certain parts of the police station, okay?
Okay.
Simple as that.
But it's a police station. It's funded by the public.
Yes.
It's ours.
Certain
We
parts
own it.
You're allowed to go to, okay?
Yeah, but it's policy that restricts us, not law, sir.
Okay.
So I follow law.
What can I help you with?
Nothing. I didn't intend on any interactions. I just walking around. I told you I would like to look at some marked police cars. I have people who have an interest in them.
The harassment does not stop even after Ed moves to a clearly public area. A junior officer follows him and secretly records him without saying anything. This sneaky behavior directly breaks Home Office and College of Policing guidelines on body-worn cameras. These guidelines clearly state that officers must loudly and clearly announce when they are recording someone, in order to stay transparent and maintain public trust. The officer did not do this. On top of that, instead of thinking for himself, this officer simply repeated the same arguments the sergeant had already made, even though those arguments had already been proven wrong. This forced Ed to once again explain the basic difference between internal police policy and actual law.
I'm okay here, yeah?
But ideally...
No, not ideally, ma'am. And I feel like we got off on the wrong foot over there, but let's stick to law. If you don't want people to go around there, you need to gate it. Because otherwise people are just going to go there because... And you know why, Sergeant? Because we have the lawful right to under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972. If I can walk through it without crossing a barrier by opening it, climbing it, or moving around it, I am free to enter it. You know this, Sergeant.
It says no unauthorised access.
I understand that, but it's a civil matter, isn't it?
So therefore, because of our threat level, we have to question those that aren't...
disproportionate, ma'am.
The threat level is that I don't know who you are because you're not wearing a lanyard, you haven't got any identification.
Yeah, I do have ID, you haven't asked me for it.
Well, I'm about to, but it got into a slight altercation over there.
Well, yeah, but I feel like you escalated that.
Okay, fine.
But we can agree to disagree because I know what police are like. I heard this lady speaking to the gentleman over there, and she tarred me with the same brush as what your generic your generic handed down information is given. So, and I heard her say that.
The sergeant then weakly said that Ed ideally should not be in the car park. This completely destroyed her own earlier argument, because it showed that her demands were never based on any real law. They were just based on her personal preference. Ed immediately called this out and told her to stick to the law, making it very clear that her personal wishes and her actual legal powers are two very different things. Getting desperate to regain control, she then made the ridiculous claim that Ed was a security risk simply because he was not wearing an official lanyard. This is laughable. National security threats and building security are governed by serious counter-terrorism frameworks and strict protocols. These are based on real warning signs of hostile behavior, not whether a member of the public standing on open ground is wearing a plastic badge around their neck.
But if your front door was open, you wouldn't just want me to walk into your front door?
But legally you could.
No.
Yes, you could.
No.
If my front door is open,
we can't.
Listen,
We can't.
sir, excuse me.
Walk into your house.
Sorry, Michael. You may not be as a police officer, right? But everybody on this planet who walks this planet with 2 feet has an implied right of access. If I leave I leave my door open and somebody comes in my house, it could be construed as aggravated trespass. It could be. However, the black and white of the law says if my front door is open, anybody may walk in until I revoke their implied rights of access.
Because you obviously know a lot about legislation.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be able
enough to stay safe, at least.
Yeah. You wouldn't go up to the office window and film through the window.
Well, I would if I wanted to, because I wouldn't be breaking the law if I did that. Because
you know what I mean? That's kind of thing that's gonna.
I'm not gonna be here to. I'm not here to purposely antagonise anybody. So I'm not going to do anything purposefully to antagonise anybody. But I will exercise my rights, and I will defend my rights vehemently if needed.
The officer tried to make a comparison, suggesting that Ed would not want strangers walking through his own front door. This argument completely backfired and showed a basic misunderstanding of property law. A landmark High Court ruling called Robson v. Hallett clearly established the implied right of access. This means any member of the public has a lawful right to walk up an unobstructed path to the entrance of a property. This officer was clearly confused about where trespassing actually begins and ends, which means he was in no position to be lecturing anyone about property boundaries. The officer then falsely told Ed that he could not film through the station windows. This is simply not true. Under UK law, there is no legal expectation of privacy for anything that can be seen from a public place.
Your details just...
No, I haven't broken the law. You can, are you asking me for ID?
Look, see, as just cops, we give you permission for us to be featured on the videos.
You've got your faces covered. Your public officials, your crown
case. There you go.
Your crown, sir.
I still don't give you permission, okay?
You have no expectations of privacy in a public place, dude. So,
I'll just remind you that I haven't given you...
You're ex-army, aren't you?
I'm not ex-army, no.
Sure. I've just had a really nice talk with Michael, and I come over, it just seems like police just can't help but give directives. Like, stop giving directives to people who haven't done anything wrong and go about your business. It's disrespectful.
Yeah, as I said, just please don't come past.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to come past the bollards. Okay? What's your number anyway, you young buck?
70.
And your name?
Name.
Are you sure? Do you suspect me of terrorism offences? Then you absolutely do have to give me your name, sir.
When another officer arrives, he only makes things worse by claiming that Ed needs permission to include officers in his video. This completely ignores established UK law and College of Policing guidance on media relations, which clearly states that the public and press have an absolute right to film police officers while they are on duty in a public space. Police officers performing their duties have no expectation of privacy. To make things even worse, when Ed asked this new officer to identify himself, the officer only gave his shoulder number and refused to give his name. Ed correctly pointed out that the only legal reason an officer is allowed to withhold their name is for personal safety under counter-terrorism protocols, such as Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000. And the officer himself openly admitted that this exemption did not apply in this situation, which means he had no legal reason to withhold his name at all.
270.
Yeah? You based from here as well, are you?
Mind yourself out the barrel.
Yep. You based here, are you? Are you based here? Are you based here? Can I see your warrant card, please? And you have to give me 3 forms of ID. You've given me your number and your uniform, so either give me your name or show me your warrant card. How long have you been a constable?
I'll tell you.
Huh?
I don't have to tell you.
No, but what you do need to do is know the law and your policy. And your policy states that when a member of the public asks you to identify, you will identify with 3 forms of ID. I will accept your uniform. You have given me your number, so you will either show me your warrant card or you'll tell me your name, sir. Or you will receive a complaint.
You're more than welcome to put in a complaint.
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine. Off you go then.
Okay.
You're no longer required. When a constable you are around acts outside of his remit, you should say something, because you know what I said earlier, and you questioned me and you said actually it's not all officers, but when a good officer doesn't say something to a bad officer, that makes him just as bad. Yeah, of course. You don't.
The officer smugly refused to say whether he was based at the station or to show his warrant card. This exposed a deep culture of arrogance and zero accountability within this unit. Under the College of Policing Code of Ethics and Standard Procedures, an officer in uniform is required to confirm where they are based and show their warrant card when a member of the public makes a reasonable request to verify who they are. By treating this basic and perfectly reasonable request as something he could simply ignore, the officer showed complete disrespect for the public. When Ed threatened to make a formal complaint about this behavior, the officer simply responded with "Go ahead." This reveals an attitude within the organization that internal complaints mean nothing and that misconduct will be protected. The officer clearly believed the complaints system would cover for him, completely forgetting that under the Police Reform Act 2002, failing to identify yourself or show a warrant card is a clear breach of professional standards that can lead to formal disciplinary action. These officers genuinely believed they were above the rules that govern their own jobs. In the end, this entire encounter was an embarrassing display of ignorance and incompetence. That is it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe, as it really helps me continue with my independent coverage. Also make sure to check out Audit Ed, whose channel is linked in the description. Show him some support. Thanks for watching. This was Police Perp, and I will see you in the next one.